It's Zip Trip season on 7 News. Welcome to the Great Smoky Mountains. Fun, food, music, and more. 7 News Live. We're on a Zip Trip in partnership with Dollywood.
And good morning. We are back live from Dollywood as our Great Smoky Mountains Zip Trip continues. We are trying to squeeze in some content between bites.
Sorry, I'm distracted.
This is like the slab of apple pie that we just saw.
Almost by itself worth the trip.
Yeah.
It is a fantastic pie.
And it's huge.
It is.
Huge. How
What a great gift. Oh my gosh, 25.
A great gift
Really
for your
impressive.
family, your extended family, their extended family.
They'll make it and send it to you, right?
Certainly, yes.
Wow.
Mr. Cantor, come pick it up. Why not? You get a piece while you're waiting.
And you get to keep the pan as well if you buy the entire thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skillet.
Exactly.
So that's kind of a cool thing.
You could bathe a dog in there.
Really
At least a small child.
Now we're in
Absolutely.
South. There you go.
Absolutely. So.
We got another hour coming up here.
interesting.
I didn't think we'd get into hygiene, but anyway,
Weird.
Let's talk about what's coming up. First of all, we're going to talk about just this general area because you got the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, Dollywood, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. You could spend weeks here.
Okay,
Oh,
I've got a security guard story coming up with AJ Jenkins, but that will be in the later hour, closer to the 40 mark. So I'll see you back here then.
Okay.
And I'll be talking drone show and fireworks, which we saw last night, which was absolutely amazing and very cool.
We know you're going to be busy.
Fun, Dollywood, all the activities you can do right here around the corner.
All right.
Fantastic. All right.
Also, First Responder Friday coming up too.
All right, so as we get ready to dig into this, let's take a look at your weather. It's going to be a great start. We came equipped. We are looking at a great start to the morning. Temperatures are a mixture of low 70s in the upstate, 60s in western North Carolina. We are dry this morning, a few clouds around, and as we go through the day, expect an afternoon with highs in the 80s, mid to low 80s in the upstate, low 80s in the mountains, and we will track that chance for pop-up thunderstorms later this afternoon. All right, that's your Friday weather. Let's check in on our Friday morning traffic.
And right now it's smooth sailing traffic-wise. We had some backups on 85 south through Cherokee County earlier. Those have cleared up. We're taking a look at 385 and 185. Smooth sailing there. No reports of any accidents on any of the major roadways, and right now we don't have any congestion either, but it's still early, so we may still see some backups a little bit later on, especially in the usual places along 85, so just prepare as you normally would for any other commute to work on a Friday. Let's send it back out now to Dollywood.
Hey, Dan, yes, good morning. Thank you. Did you know, obviously, tourist attraction, 13 million people came to this area to visit the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That's like one of the highest records they've got.
There's no question about that, and a lot of those very same people will spend time in a couple of towns that have roughly the population of Lyman and Walhalla.
Pigeon Forge has a population of around 6,000 people. That's a little larger than Gatlinburg, just 7 miles away. Add in Sevierville, and you have a huge draw to the mountains of eastern Tennessee.
The three cities work really well together. Our department works very well with the Gatlinburg CVB and with the Sevierville Chamber of Commerce. We do a lot of joint promotions together.
Much of it started in 1970 with Gold Rush Junction in Pigeon Forge. Dolly Parton came along and rebranded the theme park as Dollywood in 1986. That was huge, but still not enough.
When I came here, it was not a year-round destination. At the end of October, when the leaves fell off the tree and Dollywood closed, the city basically shut down. The mom and pop restaurants and hotels would put up signs that say, "See you in the spring," and lay off their employees. So when we started Winterfest
in the early 90s, featuring some 15 million holiday lights from early November into February, Dollywood extended its months of operation, making the surrounding cities a year-round destination.
Well, last year, Greenville, Asheville, Spartanburg was the third largest number of producers or visitors for us in the city of Pigeon Forge, behind Knoxville, which is, of course, just 30 miles down the road, and then Atlanta, the largest market in the southeast. So you guys were third. You and your viewers were the third largest producer and visitors to Pigeon Forge last year. So we thank you for that.
Pigeon Forge's original tourist attraction is still here, and the old mill is still running.
When you think about it, 1830, since I've been here, the water gets up once or twice a year. Every couple of years really bad. So we've had floods that have taken out the bridge twice. We lost a wooden bridge, we lost a steel bridge. The dam has been busted and damaged. The building has been damaged, but it's still here, still functions. To me, that's remarkable. This is our water-powered 1830s era type stone. This is only the second set of stones that we've had put in the building since 1830. There's actually two stones here. There's one on the top and there's one on the bottom. They weigh a little over 2,000 pounds apiece. And when they grind, the product comes down the top, fed by the water wheel outside. It'll grind, it'll come out the front right over here as the finished product.
And the old mill will sell about 100,000 bags of flours and grains every year.
People want fresh stuff. They want product that's good and wholesome. When you come in and you're buying my grains, like I said, 100%. I'm not putting anything in there. You don't have to worry about that. You go someplace else, you got to look at that package really close. You're not going to find bioengineered food in my whole grains.
Tourism is so big. For just Pigeon Forge alone, it's $1.5 billion a year. And right now there are 11 hotels, 11 under construction in the city.
And it's fun to come back here during all the different parts of the year. It is a year-round destination. You get the foliage toward the fall. It's a little bit quieter in the winter, but summer months like now, I mean, the weather's been great, so it's a perfect time to come visit with the family. We love it here. Smoke, we'll send it back to you for a check of our top stories this morning.
Olivia, Fred, thank you. Developing now, crews are still working to clean up a derailed train in Anderson County. It happened just before noon yesterday off Belton-Honea Highway. Crews say 2 train cars overturned and a third partially derailed, prompting roads to shut down in the area. Firefighters say there are no active fuel leaks. We're told no one was injured. Crews brought in heavy equipment to get the cars off the tracks.
Railroad's got their folks on the way to clear up all the cars and offload the fuel that's on the car.
It's still unclear as to why the train derailed. And a mother is in custody in connection to her baby's death in Greenville County. Deputies say Linda Lawson left her 7-month-old son alone in a bathtub for an extended period of time last month. The coroner tells us Xander Lawson was found unresponsive. He was taken to the hospital and put on life support. He died this month. The baby's mother is charged with homicide by child abuse. And only on 7, we're hearing from the attorney who filed 2 federal lawsuits against Spartanburg School District 2. The lawsuits brought by the families of former students at Sholey Creek Elementary School allege the school district did not do enough to protect students from being sexually assaulted between 2021 and 2022. We're hearing from the plaintiff's lawyer with more on the allegations.
They were sexually assaulted at school multiple times, and the school didn't do much about it. They knew one particular student was a danger, and they put that student in a position where he could hurt other kids instead of keeping him away from other kids.
The families are seeking monetary damages and changes to Spartanburg School District 2's bullying and reporting policies. The families already filed 2 state lawsuits 2 years ago against the defendants, alleging the school's inaction. And the Spartanburg Police Department is upping its security at the Westgate Mall after a recent spike in break-ins. Authorities say there is no safety hazard to shoppers. They tell us the vandalism happens after mall hours. Officers hope to update video surveillance systems and change security shifts to better monitor the mall.
The best thing now is to look at the structure as a whole, seeing where those vulnerabilities are, as I mentioned, where we can improve those structures to kind of shore them up so individuals cannot access the mall as easily as possible.
Police say that they are actively investigating the crimes at the mall. In a 7 News update, Duke Energy has selected the route for a new power line in a rural Spartanburg County community. Residents in Green Pond have been fighting back against the Big Ferguson transmission line project proposed in 2022. The project calls for a nearly 4.5-mile-long power line that will cut the community in half. It will lead to a new substation near Green Pond Baptist Church. Duke Energy says it needed to accommodate the growth in the area. And an unusual sight in Raleigh yesterday, a 20-foot-tall inflatable IUD at Moore Square. Its name is Frida Woon. The group Americans for Contraception brings the inflatable display all over the country. Their message tied to the political fight over access to contraception. Senate Republicans blocked a bill in Congress that would have created a federal right to access contraception. Republicans said that vote by Democrats was for show.
You know, until the Dobbs decision came out 2 years ago, there were a lot of things we wouldn't have imagined, in the same way that you have a hard time really imagining a 20-foot blow-up IUD until you see it in person.
Republican leaders in the state legislature say they are not backing bills to reduce access to contraception. And next on 7 News, we're heading back out to the Great Smoky Mountains where Fred joins us for First Responder Friday with more on the United States Forest Service.
It is 6:11. Our zip trip to the Great Smoky Mountains continues. It's also First Responder Friday. We're joined by Chris Joyner, spokesperson for the United States Forest Service. First of all, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
You had a situation here 8 years ago, back in 2016. It was a horrific wildfire in this area. We've got some video that just showed just how frightening it was. Can you, in perspective, how big of an undertaking it was to get that thing under control?
So that fire really came pretty close there, and I want to be clear, I was not a wildland firefighter for that particular fire, but the fire came very close to where we're at here at Dollywood, and if you come to this area, you can still see what we call the bones of the fire. You can see some, specifically if you're heading to Gatlinburg from Dollywood, you can see where the fire crossed the road and came down. A lot of times what we'll use is roads as places where we can set up containment lines, and you can clearly see where that happened at a few places where the wildland firefighters for that particular fire use roads as containment lines to be able to keep the fire from moving into areas.
You mentioned you can still see the bones of that fire. You've just been recently out west. You were fighting a fire or out for a situation in Idaho, but you were telling me that there's a real difference in recovery time perhaps between this part of the country and out west.
Sure. So out west, in the arid west, you really see a lot of remnants of wildland fires. You can go to areas that 60 and 70 years prior there was a big fire and still see the bones of it. And the trees, some of them will be still standing dead from those fires. I can think of several that the fire burned through, and those remnants are still there. Here we have a very fire resilient landscape that once the fire comes through, we see a lot of rebuilding of the vegetation really quickly. I mean, we get 50-some inches of rain a year. Arid west might get somewhere between 9 to 20 at best. Yeah. And so it takes a very long time, but here we have pretty quick repair.
All right, well, Chris Joyner with the United States Forest Service, thanks for being here. Stick around for our next hour because we want to talk about some of the equipment you use to fight these fires, including a fascinating story about the #1 piece of equipment you use. We're so happy you're with us today.
Yes,
thanks
sir.
for everything you do.
Yes, sir, I appreciate it.
All right, you are watching 7 News on a Friday morning as our zip trip continues from the Great Smoky Mountains.
Welcome back, everyone. A great start to our Friday morning. We're out here live at Dollywood. We're going to talk quickly about the weather because I have something I think you really are going to enjoy coming up in just a second. Let's talk weather. It's a morning that starts out in the 60s and low 70s across the upstate and western North Carolina. We're partly cloudy this morning, a few spotty showers in the upstate. Otherwise, we're dry, and as we go through the day, a absolutely fantastic afternoon, partly sunny and warm. Still in the 80s today with temperatures in the mid-80s upstate. Those temperatures will climb as we head towards the end of next week as we're back to those mid-90s. And in western North Carolina, we're looking at temperatures today that will climb to the low 80s, partly sunny with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms in the forecast. So a good start to our Friday. Just keep that in mind for those afternoon thunderstorms that are a possibility. All right, now we're out here live. This has been one of the things that for the last 2 years I've been trying to get our hands on. Stephen Byrne. You are in charge of the drones, a fantastic drone show that we saw last night. Tell people a little bit about how many drones you guys have in the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is one of our drones.
Okay.
Each evening we fly 500 drones, in addition to 3 drones that are specialized for detecting the weather and making sure that everything's safe to go, and then 10 spare drones that are ready to fly up and take the place if one battery dies or anything happens. Right. That way the show runs at 100% every evening.
It is an absolutely fantastic show, and we have some video of the show from the last few nights. The show itself, how many different formations do you guys put together? Because it's an amazing 15-20 minute show.
Yeah, absolutely. So we use about 6 or 7 primary different icons, as we call them. Right. We really want to make sure that the transitions are also special. Oh. So we're also working through the different transitional effects as well. So overall, we have about 20 different individual effects that we want to do.
So, and as you guys are putting this together, you talked briefly about the weather. How important is the weather? What are the weather conditions that you guys can fly in and you can't fly in?
Yeah, absolutely. Weather is incredibly important for our drone show. show. So wind is the biggest factor because we can't fly over a 25-mile-an-hour wind. Okay. Just to make sure everything's safe. But then also the water is impactful. So if we have rain, if we have high humidity, that impacts the drone. Cold conditions when we had our Christmas shows, all of those different elements play a part in our drone show that we have to monitor every day.
Now, you mentioned the Christmas show. How many different shows do you guys do, different formations do you guys do per year? Do you have something in the spring, something in the fall, something at Christmas?
So we like to mix it up a little bit. Okay. So we do the summer show, we do Christmas show. We kind of change it up, year to year, just to make sure that we always keep it fresh.
Does it ever get old for you to hear the crowds oohing and on? Just how we had people in our group that were from 8 years old all the way up to 60s, 70s that were just all fascinated by it and the magic of it. So, what has this added to the shows to have the drones? And how long have you guys been doing this?
So we started our drone show in 2021. Okay. With our Sweet Summer Nights dance party and drones and fireworks, and it's just been an incredible addition for us and to deliver to our guests because no one else really delivers it like we do, and we want to make sure that we have something that is bigger than the stage, bigger than a screen, bigger than anything else.
It's amazing. It's 3D. It's in your face. And quickly, how many nights do you guys do it?
So we do it throughout all of summer. So we do it for 57 nights.
All right. Book your time. It is well worth it. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Stephen. All right, let's look at our weather. Let's take a quick look at our live drive traffic.
And traffic's doing okay right now. No accidents to report, and all the major roadways flowing smoothly. Here's a live look at I-85 near the airport. Traffic volume picking up, but we're moving smoothly in both directions. Of course, keep an eye on that volume to pick up as usual, a little bit more as we go through the next hour or so. And keep an eye out for a little bit of patchy fog in a few areas as well. Now let's send it back out to Dollywood.
Do you tell people like there's a landmark nearby? Thanks, Dan. Okay, good morning, Dan. Don't go away, Dan. I want you to pay attention because we have another Danny. This is Danny, not Dan. Dan's our meteorologist.
No, I go by Danny because I'm immature.
Oh, stop. He's so much fun. Okay, we're talking about the Comedy Barn. The Comedy Barn is not necessarily here on Dollywood's Park campus, but it's close by.
It is. It's right down the road. We're on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge. Like when you're driving through Pigeon Forge, you're going to see the Titanic. You're going to see Hatfield McCoy.
Okay.
Then you're going to see the big Pirates building. We are just past there on your left, heading towards Dollywood.
Look for the
Pirates. It's a big old barn. You can't miss it, man.
Okay, so you do comedy of all kinds, right? Different topics?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Comedy Barn is a variety show. Okay. All right, and we've got ventriloquism, juggling. We've got incredible tricks that are going to make you laugh. You're going to laugh so hard, you're going to have tears running down your face.
Stop it.
You're going to walk out like you did an ab workout. You're going to feel like this because you laugh so hard. You know what I mean?
I
you
just
getting cut at the Comedy Barn,
all that
baby.
pie. Oh my gosh, I need the ab workout.
You need to come laugh it off with us.
Can kids come?
It is appropriate for everybody. You could bring your kid, your grandkid, your mama, your papa, your teacher, the preacher, everybody. You could bring everybody to the Comedy Barn, and everyone's going to laugh. And since it's a variety show, there's something for everyone. So if you don't love the first act, but you're gonna absolutely love the second act.
Okay, now this guy, Danny, has some experience. He's been doing this for a little while?
Long time. I started doing shows when I was 12 years old, so I've been doing it for 8 years now.
Little Danny. And your back hurts, is that right?
No, I've been doing it a long time. Toured all over the country.
With other shows?
Other shows. I was with Ringling Brothers Circus when I was younger as a clown. I worked at another theme park in another state down in the south, in the Pan, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And toured all over the place. But I'm here now. Pigeon Forge is the place to be, and there's nothing better than the Comedy Barn.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, so the Comedy Barn, and nearby, you can come maybe 7 days a week?
7 days a week. Show times at 7. Easy to remember, 7-7, baby. So 7 o'clock, 7 days a week, we are there at the Comedy Barn, and you're going to laugh.
And you kind of say you get the audience involved, right? You're breaking down the fourth wall.
Right, there is no fourth. The audience is with us, and we're with the audience, you know.
Not punching them, but
no. Well, if they ask for it.
I mean, I just saw you lighting up. I didn't know what was going on there.
No, we keep it classy. But yeah, there's no fourth wall. We're down there. Like, I'm even climbing over the seats half of the time. You never know what's going to happen.
Look at you. Yeah. Did you come up with the show? Was it something that you kind of perfected over years?
Added to it. The show, we're in our 30th season at the Comedy Barn, which is a long run. I've been there 13 years.
Oh, Stevie, congratulations.
Oh, it's great. I love it. Thank you.
That's so cool. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to show me a little something. This is done in the show?
This is what I do every night at the Comedy Barn.
Okay.
What I do is I take a ping pong ball. You know ping pong? Everybody
I thought you were going to throw it at me.
Ping pong. I take the ping pong ball.
Oh, no. What is wrong?
And I stick them up in my word hole. All right, right there in the word hole.
Word hole.
And then what I do is I spit ping pong balls in the air and then catch them. But sometimes what I like to do is get somebody in the crowd. So this is going to be great. This is going to be great. You ready? Here's what I just want you to hold that right there.
I'm helping. Of course I'm helping. Okay.
You should see it from my angle. It's like a beautiful picture frame. Look at that. All right.
Thanks.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to take the ping ball in the word hole. I'm going to spit it right at your face. Okay, don't freak out. It's going to be all right. Just hold it right. Yeah.
I got to make sure. Come see him at the Comedy Barn 7 days a week. We'll put all the info at WSPA.com. You're insane. That's
You did
hilarious.
good. I'm proud of you.
I
You
did my
a good job.
best.
You didn't
And I
panic or
did
anything.
laugh. That's probably part of it, right? Guys, much more after this. We'll head to break, and we'll be here in Dollywood all morning, so don't miss it. You're a hoot, Danny.
Ooh, I'm so
Danny
glad
with the
y'all
comedy bar.
7 News, live on a zip trip to the Great Smoky Mountains in partnership with Dollywood.
26 is the time. Wouldn't it be great to have a Dollywood family vacation and then have a giveaway for tickets?
At no cost to you.
That's a great idea. We should do that.
Fingers.
Like people could just like go to the computer and get some information,
Exert
right?
some finger energy on the keyboard and you're good to go.
Yeah.
WSPA.com, that's how you'll win your tickets. You head there's a banner, Dollywood ticket giveaway. Type in your information, type in the code word, this week's code word.
Smoky.
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 Type in the code word, and then a week from today, we'll announce our winner, much like last week's winner, which is Earl Black.
From Gaffney.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Congrats to you. 4
Congratulations.
tickets to Dollywood.
Yeah, and a great morning out here at Dollywood, and a good start to the morning in most spots. A few spotty showers, I'm told, in the upstate, but today we'll see afternoon highs in the 80s, mid to upper 80s upstate, low 80s in the mountains, with a chance of pop-up thunderstorms. Enjoy the next couple of days because the heat returns next week.
All right, we'll deal with that next week. Meanwhile, we're going to deal with a few more hours here on our zip trip to the Great Smoky Mountains. We're live from Dollywood, and a quick reminder, hey kids, it's Friday. You're watching 7 News.
It's Friday.
Friday?